Hey everyone, I put together some really cute spring and Easter from last year, one of my favorites, and I hope you enjoy the video while I get my craft room ready. I'll have a new one up next week. I'm going to take two of these pieces from Dollar Tree. These are the long ones. I think they're 12 inches, and then these are little pieces that I got from Hobby Lobby. I don't know what they're called, but they were pretty reasonable. And then the eggs I got from Hobby Lobby as well, but you can use Dollar Tree. So I went ahead and cut them down and cut the corners as well. So now I'm going to put it together. I'm going to use a combination of the wood glue from Dollar Tree and some hot glue. I'm going to start off by placing down the corners first. This was so easy to make, and it just depends on how you cut them. If you have something to cut it with, I just used the cheap miter box from Home Depot. So now I'm placing down the corners, and I'm making sure that the back piece is going to fit behind it because I'm placing it right on top of that wood. Now I'm adding some glue to the back. I didn't put any wood glue back there. That's fine. Then I'm going to use some hot glue to attach the corners to the back. It's so cute. I love it. And now we're going to paint it. I'm going to use some antique wax. I'm going to go ahead and paint it with that and then use a baby wipe to wipe it down. I'm also going to paint those little wood leg pieces and wipe it down with baby wipe as well. Now, you can make this bigger if you want to add more eggs, but I thought 4 eggs was enough. So I'm going to be using these for the legs. Now you can use, like Dollar Tree has those little square wood pieces. You can use them as well if you don't have these. Now I'm just going to go ahead and glue them to the back. So I'm using a total of 4 for the bench. You can't tell me this is not adorable. Look how cute it came out. So now we want to add the eggs inside, and I'm going to be using some moss. I got this from Hobby Lobby, but you can always use Dollar Tree's moss. So I'm going to start hot gluing the eggs to the bench and adding some moss in between all around. Now, if you want to be really creative, you can actually paint the eggs that you get from Dollar Tree and add like texture to them. Like Dollar Tree has those little stickers you can place on, those little puffy stickers, or you can add a book page or something like that if you want to actually get creative. But I just left them as is because they were pretty. They were like a beige egg with some speckle. I don't know. I just thought it was pretty. So I left it as is. So now, like I said, I'm just going to go ahead and add the moss in between the eggs, and that's pretty much it. But at the end, I didn't show it. I took a little Dollar Tree, I don't even know what they're called, the little plastic things you place inside like when you plant something, and you get a pack of them, and I just used that and wrote out a little sign. It says Easter eggs 25 cents, and I just place it in the back of one of the eggs. And that's pretty much it for this project. I think it came out so cute, and it was so easy to make. For this one, we're going to use some bunnies from Hobby Lobby. You can use Dollar Tree's bunnies. These come in a 10-pack. This piece of wood I used before. I picked it up from Dollar Tree. So I'm going to start off by painting the wood piece with some truffle paint. So I'm going to pull out 3 bunnies. We're going to use 3 bunnies for this DIY, and I'm going to paint them different colors. One's going to be like a green color, and a pink and a yellow. So I want this to be like a distress piece. I'm going to use a piece of candle wax, just apply it all over the top of the wood piece because once I place the other color right over the top, I'll be able to chip it easier. So I'm going to place some white paint over the top. This is just basic acrylic white paint. You can use chalk paint as well. So while that dries, I'm going to work on the bunnies. I'm going to use some Dollar Tree black stickers. I'm going to place down the letters on the bunnies and spell out the word hop. So now it's dry. I'm going to take my Cricut tool and just go across the top of the wood piece and scrape off some of that white paint so the brown paint comes to the surface. Now I'm going to be using some antique wax. All I'm going to do is just go all around the outside edges of the bunnies, and I'm going to do a little bit on that wood piece as well. Now I'm just going to lay those bunnies on top of that wood and get an idea of where I need to position it. I want to make sure it's going to fit actually. And then once I have it where I like it, I'm just going to go ahead and use my glue gun to place it down. So I want to create a bow using some jute twine. Just going to wrap a few pieces around my hand, create 3 separate pieces, and then I'm going to take the 3 pieces and place them on top of each other and wrap it with a piece of jute twine, and then I'm going to place it in the corner of the sign. I wanted to add a button to the bow, and I pulled out a couple buttons from Dollar Tree and just figured out which one I want to use. And then once I figure out which one, I'm just going to go ahead and glue that right in the middle of that jute twine bow. So I also placed a little piece of jute twine around the top of the wood piece and also added little jute twine bows on the bunnies. Now I want to add some bunny tails, and this is just basic yarn from Hobby Lobby. I just cut a little piece out. Just going to glue it to the bottom of the rabbits, and that is it for this project. And look how cute it came out. All right, we're going to use the Dollar Tree piece of wood and a lot of fabric of your choice. I just picked these 3 and a piece of cardboard. So all I'm going to do here is just freehand a shape of a carrot on the cardboard and just cut it out. Now you're just going to peel back the first layer of paper, and it's going to show underneath, and it has those really cool grooves, and this is going to make it really rustic looking. And I did the rest off camera because it did take a bit to take all that paper off. Now I'm going to paint that board with some moss green chalk paint. And I'm not going to give it a really heavy coat. I'm going to leave some of the bare spots here and there. Now I'm going to take some orange paint and paint that cardboard carrot. This project comes out so pretty and really doesn't cost you much, especially if you're using what you have at home, other than buying the piece of wood from Dollar Tree and a little bit of fabric and some greenery. So it's really cost efficient. So we're keeping with the rustic theme. I'm just going to add some antique wax all around the top and sides of the board, and also the carrot as well. Now we're going to do the same thing to the carrot, dirty it up with some antique wax. Now I'm just going to glue down that carrot to the board. So for the top of the carrot, I'm going to be using this floral I got from Hobby Lobby, and I got it on, I think it's 50% off. So it's a good buy. I'm just going to take 2 pieces from the bunch, cut it, and then glue it to the top of the carrot. You can always use something from Dollar Tree. They always carry some floral. Something close to this. I'm not sure what they have. My store never has really great greenery. That's why I always get mine from Hobby Lobby. Especially it's a good buy, especially 50% off. I love the way this one comes out. It's so pretty. It was so easy to make as well. I made sure it was nice and bushy at the top. That's why I added 2 bunches. Now I wanted to add a bow. I just took some fabric and placed them together. It's kind of like a messy bow, but it's more of a bow, if that makes sense. And all I'm going to do is tie it off with some jute twine, place it right in the middle of the carrot. So I wanted to add a button to the middle of the fabric bow, and I use a Dollar Tree button. I grabbed a orange one, just going to place that right in the middle. So I want to add like a little tag, so I took a piece of drop cloth, just write out the word hop, and then I'm going to glue it right underneath the bow. Off camera, I added a little wire hanger to hang it. And that is it for this project. And look how pretty this came out. It's my favorite today. First up, we're going to take a Dollar Tree little wood house, and I printed this out, and I used some craft paper from Hobby Lobby and a little piece of scrap wood. I'm going to start off by painting the side of the house with some brown paint. Now that scrap wood, I just cut it down. This is going to be for the trim at the top of the house. I'm just going to paint that with some olive green paint. Now I'm going to take that craft paper and just use some Mod Podge to apply it down and place it right over the house. So once I apply the Mod Podge and place the paper over the top, I went to take some sandpaper and just cut around the side of the house. But I'm going to first use my scissors to trim it down a bit. Now for the image, it's a little big for the house, so what I'm going to do is just cut around the rabbit and then leave the part with the Easter basket. So now I'm going to place the bunny on the house and just apply some Mod Podge down. Now the what is it, the left side of his foot? Yeah, that little piece there. I was going to actually attach it because his foot looks like it's missing because it was actually attached to an egg, but it didn't look good, so I left it out. Now I'm going to add some Mod Podge over the top, and it doesn't matter if it gets wrinkled because this is going to be like a vintage Easter bunny. Now that little piece, I was trying to place it back on, but like I said, it didn't look good, so I just removed it. So I just added a layer of Mod Podge over the top just to seal it in. Now I'm going to take those pieces that I cut for the roof and just glue it to the top of the house. I think that color looks so pretty with the rabbit and the background craft paper. I like the way this one comes out. It's so adorable. I love little rabbits, especially vintage. Now I wanted to create a bow, but not a traditional bow, so I'm just going to take some of this lacy ribbon from Dollar Tree. I'm going to create 3 circles, just going to glue it in the middle, and then I'm going to combine them all together and glue them together. You'll see what I'm doing. Now I'm just going to hot glue it to the top of the house. Now I'm also going to use a button from Dollar Tree. It's a little green one. I'm just going to place it right in the middle of that bow. Now, because it's a vintage sign, I'm going to take some antique wax and just go around the outside of the house. Just make it look old. I think this comes out so adorable. Off camera, I added a little sign that says Happy Spring. That is it, and this project is done. Project, we're going to take this little table decor from Dollar Tree. Comes in a set of 2, and I'm going to use the Dollar Tree little chickens, the wood cutouts, and some craft paper. So I'm going to place the yellow craft paper on top of that little wood piece. Well, it's not wood, but the little decor from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to cut it out and Mod Podge it on top. And then for the front piece, I'm going to use the other craft paper and do the same thing. So I'm going to place it on top, create some creases, and cut it out. Now, because that craft paper wasn't long enough, I just took a little corner piece. Now I'm just going to Mod Podge everything down. Now, if you can't find this at Dollar Tree, you can always use the long wood piece that they always carry. I'll place the yellow craft paper right over the top with some Mod Podge, same way. So I used 2 different craft papers because I thought it would be different and I liked the way it looked. Now the chickens are going to have different craft paper, different colors, so I'm just going to place the chicken right on top of the craft paper, trace it, and then cut it out and place it on top with some Mod Podge. If you guys have a favorite today, let me know in the comments below. I like the way this one comes out. It's so pretty. And the reason why I picked different colors is because I want it to be different. Now I want to give them some eyes. I'm going to use a black marker and just create little tiny eyes on the chickens. Now I'm going to be using some black paint and a sponge and just sponge on some black around the chicken to make it look vintage. So I'm going to do this on all 3 chickens. Now I'm going to take the base and do the same thing, just add some black, smudge it around the top and the sides. I like the way this one comes out, like I said before. I mean, I liked everything I made today. I can't really pick a favorite because they're all adorable. I hope you guys like these today. If you do, let me know in the comments below. So now I'm going to go ahead and write out the word hello peeps, and just using a black marker. I didn't want to use my Cricut. I thought it was more authentic using it this way, or doing it this way I should say. I am so looking forward to spring. I can't wait. This has been a very long, dragged out winter here. I don't know where you guys live, if you have sun and if it's warm. Lucky you. But yeah, it's been cold and it's been like 19 degrees with the wind chill. It's like -5. Yeah, it's not fun. I decided to use a Dollar Tree button. I'm going to use one on each end. One's going to be green and the other one's pink. I'm going to place them in front, give it some color. Now I'm going to make a little shoelace bow out of jute twine and place it in front of the chickens. Now all that's left is to place the little chickens on top of the little stand. I'm just going to use some hot glue to place them down. And that is it for this project, and look how cute they came out. For this one, we're going to use a Dollar Tree moss, a Dollar Tree crate, some craft paper, a skewer stick, some Dollar Tree little eggs, this Dollar Tree bunny. So I'm going to place the bunny right on top of the craft paper, trace it, and just going to cut it out. I used this one before, but I thought I have so many crafts, guys. I have to reuse them over and over because I have too many crafts. Now I'm going to place the craft paper right over the bunny. Just apply down some Mod Podge. So I'm going to use my Cricut tool just to make sure there's no air bubbles or wrinkles. Now I'm going to be using some pink paint. It's called Baby Pink. Just going to paint that crate this color. So now I'm going to be using some antique wax. I'm just going to dry brush around the corners and a little bit in front, all around the crate. I'm also going to use some antique wax all around the bunny as well. So I'm going to be using this beige fabric, and I'm going to place that inside the bunny ears. Just going to trace out that metal piece that came with the original bunny. Then I'm going to hot glue it right on top of the ears. So I'm going to use the same fabric to create a little bunny tail. I'm just going to roll it, glue it, and create a little tail. Now I'm just going to glue it to the back of the bunny. Now I'm going to take the other fabric for the ears and glue them down as well. Now I'm going to take a piece of Florifoam and glue it inside the crate. Didn't have really much left. This is all I had left. Now I'm going to be using some Dollar Tree moss. I'm just going to place some inside the crate. Now I'm going to be placing some Dollar Tree eggs inside the crate as well. Now here's where you can decorate any way you like. I just threw some eggs in there, some greenery, a little bit of white flowers. I mean, you can use your own imagination. You can use anything you like. It's your preference. Now I'm going to take that skewer stick and I'm going to cut it down to size, and then I'm going to glue it behind the bunny. So I picked this granary up from Hobby Lobby. I'm just going to use a few pieces inside. Now I'm going to place the bunny right inside the styrofoam. And look how cute this came out. So now I want to create a little sign in front. I just took a piece of popsicle stick, using some antique wax around the edges, a little bit in front. I'm going to be using these button stickers from Dollar Tree. I'm going to place one at each end of the little sign that I made with the popsicle stick. Now I'm going to use my marker and just write out the word Easter. Then I'm going to hot glue it right to the front of the crate. And that is it for this project. And I think this came out so adorable. Okay, we're going to use these from Dollar Tree. I don't know what they're called, but we're going to use them. And a dowel rod from Dollar Tree as well. And some eggs from Dollar Tree. I also use my Cricut. This is going to be the last DIY. So I'm going to start by painting the eggs. Now, I didn't like the colors that they were, plus I needed to be refreshed. So mostly are going to be different colors. Pink, yellow, blue, green. They come out really pretty. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first. Now the eggs are all dry. Now I'm going to grab some black paint and a brush. I'm just going to splatter on some black paint all over the eggs. Now I'm going to take two of those round little pieces and I cut down the dowel rods to 1.5. I think it's 2.5 or 1.5. Yeah, it's 2.5. Now I'm going to glue them together because I'm trying to create like a vintage spool. Now I'm going to use some jute twine. Just going to place a little glue in the corner and wrap the jute twine all the way inside, completely covering the inside of the dowel rod. Then I'm going to place a little glue at the corner to hold it in place. Doesn't it look like one of those little vintage spools? Now I'm going to place down the vinyl words on the eggs. I'm going to spell out the word Easter. Now I'm going to glue the eggs on top of the spool. And look how cute it came out. It was so easy to make. Now I did decide to add a little bird to one of the eggs. I got that from Hobby Lobby. I'm just going to glue it on top of the egg, and that is it for this project. You're going to need a half sign from Dollar Tree and this wood round sign from Dollar Tree as well. Now I cut out a carrot using some cardboard, and I cut out the H on my Cricut machine, and it's just regular cardstock. Now the first thing I'm going to do is paint the back of the sign. All I'm going to do is lightly coat it. I'm not going to fully coat it with the white paint. I want some of that wood to come through. What's not wood, you know what I mean, the color to come through a little bit. So now I want to add some lines to the sign. I'm just going to use my ruler and pencil and just create a bunch of lines going up towards the top. And then I'm going to smear it a little bit with my finger just to make it blend a little bit so it's not so obvious that it's a pencil. Now the reason why I made a carrot out of cardboard is because I didn't have one big enough for the sign. So now I'm just going to pull some of that paper off, and then I'm going to paint it with orange paint. Now if you have carrots, you can go ahead and use them, but I didn't have any. Now I want to remove the bunny from the sign, and I was having a hard time, so I had to do this off camera. Now for the carrot, I'm just going to take some of this greenery and glue it to the back of the carrot. So now for that hop sign, all I did is pull the rabbit from the sign because that's all I needed. Now I'm going to place it on this wood round, but I need to cut around the rabbit. So I'm just using my pencil. It wanted to blend on the sign, if that makes sense. I'm just going to go ahead and cut that. Now I'm just going to glue it to the wood round on the corner. And then I'm going to place down the H that I created on my Cricut. Like I said, all it is just basic black cardstock. So I'm just going to glue that right near the bunny. And then I'm going to glue the carrot right next to it. It's going to say hi. Well, it's supposed to say hi. The carrot's supposed to represent an eye. Now I used a bunch of different ribbons from Dollar Tree and just created like a kind of a messy bow, if you want to say, or I don't know. I added a few large ones and a couple small ones to the front. Now I'm just going to ducktail the ends and then hot glue it to the top of the sign. I like the way this one comes out. It's different, it's cute, and it was really easy to make. The only thing I added off camera was a little orange foam rose and some greenery. And that is it for this project, and look how cute it came out. This one we're going to use a Dollar Tree house, and I found this online. You can find so many cute little images online if you search, and we're going to use that for this DIY. I'm going to start off by painting it with some elephant gray paint. I'm only going to use one coat of the gray paint. Now it's dry, I'm going to place some glue right over the top. This is just basic school glue that I got from Dollar Tree. I'm going to place one layer on top. Now I'm just going to blend it in and not go over it too many times. Every time I try this technique, it never works for me. We'll see what happens. Now I'm going to place the white paint right over the top. Now the glue is dried. I made sure it was dry. Just going to place one layer lightly over the top. I want to create a little sign. I took this little piece of wood that I had in my stash. I'm just going to paint that with some black chalkboard paint from Dollar Tree. So I went ahead and cut around that little rabbit, and now I'm just going to Mod Podge it right onto the house. So I'm going to add some Mod Podge underneath it and even on top. It didn't wrinkle, so I was really surprised. And you could see a little bit of the crinkle from the glue. It didn't really come through a lot, but enough. It still looks cute. Now I'm just adding a little bit around the sides, making sure it's going to blend. You know, I don't want to make it look choppy looking. Now I'm going to take that little sign and just write out the word Easter with my white marker. Now I'm going to hot glue that sign right at the top of the house. Now I'm going to take the black roof and just glue that right in front of the house. And that is it for this project. Super easy, and it came out really cute. This is a cute little DIY. We're going to use some Dollar Tree eggs. These are Dollar Tree wood piece, and I just cut it in half. And we're going to use some cardboard and some skewer sticks and some craft paper. I'm going to be using 2 of the eggs. Now, one of the craft paper, I decided not to use the yellow. I do change it. So now all I'm going to do is trace that little egg in the back of the craft paper and then cut it out and place it in front with some Mod Podge. So here's the craft paper I decided to use. Now, like I said, all I'm going to do is just apply it down with some Mod Podge. This project comes out so cute. Now I'm just going to add a layer of Mod Podge over the top of the eggs. So I'm going to freehand the chicken's nose on the cardboard. And I did draw 3, but I only used 2. So I'm just going to cut them out. I'm going to peel back the first layer of the cardboard. And it's going to leave behind like the little rigid look. Now for the wood pieces, I'm just going to paint them with the antique wax along with the skewer stick. And then just use a baby wipe to wipe it off. Now I'm going to use some orange paint to paint the chick's nose. So we're going to make a chick on a stick. These come out really cute. If you like cute stuff, like I said, I think they're adorable. I'm going to take a piece of sandpaper and just go around the eggs and just remove a lot of that excess paper. And I'm going to take some antique wax and go around the edges of the egg as well. What do you guys want to see next? You still want to see a little more Easter and spring? Okay, so now I'm going to create the eyes. I'm going to use the back end of one of these tools from Dollar Tree. Just create the eyes on the chickens. Now I'm just going to take the nose and glue it to the chicken. You know, it was 70 degrees today. I was so pretty. I was like, oh, finally. And then tomorrow's going to be 39. I mean, just can't catch a break out here in New York. You know what I mean? And now, so I'm going to take the Cricut tool because I'm going to poke up the existing hole there. I'm going to poke the craft paper. It's going to place the jute twine through the hole, tie it in a knot, and then separate the pieces to make it look like the chicken's little hair sticking up. You don't have to do this step, but I thought, you know, it really looked cute this way. So I'm just separating those pieces, and then I'm going to cut it down a little bit because it is too high for his little chicken head. Now I'm going to cut down those sticks, and then I'm going to place them in back of the chicken. So I'm just going to glue them to the back, and then I'm going to glue them right to that wood piece at the bottom. Believe it or not, the glue held it perfectly fine. So I'm going to add the glue at the bottom to hold it down in place. And then once it dried, I added just a little bit of the antique wax around it, so you can't really see the glue too much. You're either going to like this or you're going to love this. I think they're adorable. I like them. I mean, like I said, it's personal preference. Really cute for Easter. And that's pretty much it for this project. This one, you're going to need some eggs, an egg carton, an image, a tag, and some moss. Now you can use any egg carton, like your regular eggs. You cut them in half. This one came from Dollar Tree. Now I'm going to start placing some moss inside the egg carton. Now these eggs I got from Dollar Tree. I went ahead and painted them. These are from previous DIY, but you can always get eggs that are already done, like from Hobby Lobby, or you can go ahead and paint them. This is a super easy project. Just placing in the moss, placing eggs on top. Super easy, super fast, and a really cute DIY project. It kind of has that rustic feel to it. It's almost like farmhouse. So I want it to be full, so I'm going to add a little more moss on top, all around the eggs. Now I found this image online. I just printed it out. I'm just going to place it on that tag with a little Mod Podge. I don't know, I think this is going to be my last Easter and spring video. Unless you guys want to see more, let me know. I'm not sure what to make next. Give me some ideas. I decided to take a little piece of jute twine and wrap the egg carton with the jute twine. Create a little knot in front. Now I'm going to be using an ink pad. It's a black ink pad. Just go around that little tag on the outside, a little bit in front. Make it look rustic. Give it some color. Now I'm going to take that tag, place it through that little jute twine, tie a knot. Super cute. I like the way this one comes out. So I thought it was missing something, so I'm going to take a little ribbon from Dollar Tree and just create a little shoelace bow. It's like a white ribbon. I could have used like an off-white. I grabbed the white. I thought it looked cute. Just going to place that right on top of the eggs, and that is it for this project. And look how super cute it came out. And this project is done. All right, this is the last one. For this one, we're going to use some bunny ears from Dollar Tree, some lamb ears from Hobby Lobby, a craft paper from Hobby Lobby, and this wood round from Dollar Tree, and I used my Cricut. I'm going to place the craft paper right over that wood round, just apply some Mod Podge, place it over the top. This one is my favorite today. I love everything I made, but this one is my ultimate favorite. And it's super easy to make. And it doesn't really take much time. I think it took me maybe 10 minutes to make, if that. And now I'm going to place the craft paper right over the top, and then I'm going to cut around the wood round. Now I want to create some lines, so I'm going to use my ruler and a black marker because I could not find my pencil. It's okay, it still came out fine. So now I want to remove the ears from the headband, and it was kind of a chore, and then this little carrot was attached to the ears as well. I had to cut that off. What I did was I broke the headband, and then I was able to cut the material. And then I used just a piece of the headband and ears for the sign. That little carrot, I had to be careful because I didn't want to ruin the ears, so I had to snip around underneath it because it was glued very well, believe me. Now I'm going to place it on the wood round, just going to glue underneath that headband and then glue down the ears as well. So I use my Cricut for this sign. I'm just going to place down the word that says welcome. Now I'm going to place down those lamb ears, one piece on each side. Now I thought it needed more greenery, so I did grab a bunch of greenery. This is from Hobby Lobby. I'm just going to place it right on top of the lamb's ear. Now I was debating what kind of bow to place in the middle because that word underneath welcome, I didn't want to block it, so I decided to make a messy bow. I just added a bunch of different ribbons together. Some are from Hobby Lobby, some are from Dollar Tree. Just going to place that right in the middle. And then I decided to cover up that jute twine in the middle with a button from Dollar Tree. Now I want to be able to hang it, so I'm going to be using some string or covered string from Hobby Lobby. It's like a wired string. It's really nice. I love this stuff from Hobby Lobby. So I'm just going to create a little hanger and hot glue that to the back of the sign, and that is it for this project. And look how adorable it came out, guys. I love this one. Well, that's it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And if you did, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe. Take care, everyone. I'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.